Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey man, what can I say? Beautiful morning. Um, uh, this doggone Kevin Hart is wilding out. I'm just scrolling on my phone, and guess what I see? Kevin Hart is being sued by a woman he allegedly appeared in a sex tape with 2 years ago. She's suing him for $60 million. Wow. Said we got how his wife Iniko was handling the news of the lawsuit. This guy just man, I don't know what's up with dude. And he just had a horrific car crash what the first week of September. This guy just can't stay out the news, man. $60 million. That's unbelievable. What is wrong? What's going on? So what's going on in the sports world? Oh yeah, I saw the first pictures of the Canelo Alvarez and um Sergey Kovalev. They did a little thing in L.A. That's ridiculous. Don't nobody want to see that mess. Their fight gonna be horrible. I don't know. Middleweight title holder Canelo Alvarez would move up to 175 pounds um, to fight Sergey Kovalev, November 2nd, live on the Zone app. Be challenging him for the WBO light heavyweight title at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Kovalev said, "I'm very motivated here. It's an honor for me to share the ring with a fight." Oh no, excuse me. This is Canelo. Canelo said, "I'm very motivated here. It's an honor for me to share the ring with a fighter like Kovalev, who I met in 2012. Isn't it strange that he decided to fight Kovalev after he'd been in some wars? He had tough fights against Andre Ward, um, which he lost both of them. The first one was a tough, grueling 12 round fight. Fight could have went either way. Second fight ended in a TKO, knockout, whatever they want to call it. They said on Thursday, the two officially announced the fight is in Los Angeles. Very motivated. He said it's an honor for me to share the ring with a fighter like Kovalev, who I met in 2012. That's 5 years ago. Why you didn't fight him then? Now we're about to make history. There's no history here. I know it's going to be the most difficult fight of my professional career. That's a lie. Because the only reason that Canelo will make a fight and move up to 175 is if it's guaranteed that he could win. Isn't it funny he didn't fight oh my goodness, Chavez Jr. at 175? See, tell you, man, bunch of crap, man. It's crap. All this stuff is just fixed, man. Said I'm very grateful to all the fans, as always. Said the 29-year-old Alvarez. I'm very motivated. It's an honor for me. Well, blase. Now we're about to make history. I know it's going to be the most difficult fight of my professional career. I will give the best I have in the ring, and that day we have. We can yell "Viva Mexico!" Sergey is 36 years old, with having natural size advantage, at least in terms of height and a couple inches of reach. But the veteran Russian is already listed as a solid underdog on various sports books, and in part because of his advanced aging, of course. He's 34-3. Sergey is with 29 knockouts. Also has a chance to score the biggest win of his career in most respects, as this will also be the biggest fight he's ever had in terms of the attention it will receive. That's a lie. His biggest fight up to date, his biggest fight was against Andre Ward. He, I mean, he did, he been in the ring with, with plenty of good fighters. He beat them all, but it's just so funny that Canelo picked this time to fight him. After the wear and tear, you know, they see weakness on this. They see weakness in the armor. You know, Canelo gets him out of there by the ninth or 10th round. He's not gonna last. He struggled. He struggled in the Anthony Yard fight. If if Anthony Yard had some ring generalship and some stamina, he could have got him out of there. So I just maybe he I don't know, man. I just think this fight is too soon for Sergey, especially after coming off of that tough fight against Anthony Yard. First of all, Sergey and his team came out weeks ago and said that they wasn't gonna, that they didn't want to take the fight because it was too soon. After coming off the Anthony Yard fight. So I guess they upped the bag, gave him an extra $2 to $5 million more, and his manager couldn't excuse me, her greedy self couldn't turn it down because she just is greedy. But anyway, it's just, I mean, I hope he secured a big bag, because this might be one of his next to last fights. Something he can retire off of. And I just hope he, um, secured a big bag for him and his family. You know, just I don't know, man. I just Canelo Alvarez, man. Canelo, man. He's a funny guy, man. It's like, he's, I know what he's doing. It's like he want to become a four division champion. I understand what he's trying to do, but at the same time, it's like you didn't fight the best competition at 154. You're not fighting the best competition at 160. You didn't fight the best person at 168. You're not fighting the top guys at 175. You know, you didn't fight no top guys. I mean, it's like you've been ducking the Charlos, Demetrius Andrade. I mean, all these fights you've been ducking in 154 and 160. You just screw them guys. I'm just gonna pick the Rocky Fieldings, Angulios, the 36-year-old Sergey. Man, this guy, man, and it's like people are gonna look at him as this great champion, this great Mexican champion in the history of the sport of boxing. Man, get up out of here, bro. Just ridiculous, man. That that people, boxers of that pigmentation, they can get away with everything. But fighters of color, they have to constantly prove themselves no matter what. Don't you know Floyd Mayweather defeated over 20 champions? He beat everybody. I mean, he beat every opponent that they faced in front of him, and it still wasn't good enough. He beat Manny Pacquiao, outboxed him in the center of that ring. Manny Pacquiao only landed 50 something punches on him for 12 rounds, and they still claim that Pacquiao was better than him, and it's nothing that Floyd Mayweather has ever done has been good enough. But people like Loma, Tyson Fury, Canelo, whoever, whoever, whatever else, Great White Hope, they get surpassed because of the color of their skin. They got the complexion for the protection. But black fighters have to do. I mean, they constantly have to do more. They always have to, have to compete more. Nothing that they do is good enough. It's amazing, just amazes me how that is. Let me. I'm gonna tell you how ridiculous they are. I'm gonna just read some names on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is 50 and 0, 27 knockouts. Now I'm not gonna focus on Conor McGregor because I mean everybody know that was a money grab. Just pretty much a basic expedition. Money. It's a big money grab. They paid a big money for it. Now, he got flack for fighting Andre Berto. Berto is a good 147-pound former champion. He beat Manny Pacquiao. Everybody know what Manny Pacquiao has done in the sport of boxing. He beat Marcos Maidana twice. Everybody know what Marcos Maidana has done in the sport of boxing. Great boxer. He beat Canelo. Everybody know what Canelo has done. He beat Robert the Ghost Guerrero after Guerrero he just been running through fighters. Robert Guerrero fought his way into a title fight to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. He beat the great he beat the great future Hall of Famer Miguel Cotto. He beat Victor Ortiz, who beat Berto for a title shot. He beat future Hall of Famer if he not a Hall of Famer already, and Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat future Hall of Famer Juan Manuel Marquez, one of my favorite fighters. He beat Ricky Hatton. The Ricky Hatton is a future Hall of Famer. He beat Carlos Manuel Balderman, who was on a freaking tear at 147, knocking out opponents. I think he was on a 6-7 fight win streak. He beat Fast Hands. I mean Southpaw Zab Judah, future Hall of Famer. He beat Sharmba Mitchell, a future Hall of Famer. People forget how great Sharmba Mitchell was. He beat him. He beat a tough and rugged Demarcus Chop Chop Corley. He beat Philip Nadeau. People forget how good these fighters were. He beat Victorino Sosa. He beat Jose Luis Castillo. He beat him twice. He fought him the first time. It was a tough, close fight. But guess what? People say, "Oh, you lost, you lost." Okay, guess what? The second fight, guess what? He washed him. But don't nobody bring up the second fight. Only thing people want to bring up is his first fight, as if It was one of his first tough fights that he really had to dig deep in and win. So since he didn't win in Mayweather fashion, they say he lost. Garbage. He beat him. He beat the late great future Hall of Famer Diego Corrales. He beat a tough Emmanuel Augustus. He beat Gennaro Hernandez for his first title. Get out of here, bro. This dude is, oh, my fault. He beat Angel Manfredi. People forget these fighters, man. These are great fighters. See, people don't know the sport of boxing. This man has done it all, and it still wasn't good enough. He don't get the credit for anything, bro. Just ridiculous, man. I don't, like I said many times before on some of my streams, it's like I don't care what he does on the outside of the ring. When that man gets in that square circle, it's like watching perfection. He gets the job done. He don't care anything about what the fans say, if we want to see knockouts. Okay, so what? You're gonna watch me perform. And he done a beautiful job inside that square circle. Some people say he was a cherry picker. I want to know the cherries he been picking. This is what I don't understand. I mean, what fighters did they want him to fight? The man came from 130 pounds. So he's not, so he's really not a big person. I know they wanted him to fight Paul Williams. Okay. Paul Williams was fighting at 147, 154, and 160. Plus, he was like 6 foot tall. I mean, I just don't understand, what, who all these people that he just supposedly had ducked. Man, well, let's get back on that Sergey Kovalev. All these cats have the complexion for the protection, especially Loma. Man, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting how they do black fighters. But then time you talk about it, people want to bring up why it have to be about race? It's always about race when it comes to black fighters. When you tell me if race not involved, why in the world that Terrence Crawford is not being promoted correctly over there at Top Rank on ESPN? He's one of the best fighters in the world on the planet. Why he's not being promoted like Tyson Fury? I never seen someone get so much press for being a dope head. Never. Who praises people for being a dope head? No one told him to do coke. No one told him to drink alcohol. All this stuff is self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted. But he get praised for it. But black fighters get talked about, get banned. Terrence Crawford is the best fighter that Top Ranks has. And they have refused time after time after time not to put the money and the backing behind him. Because after watching that doggone extravaganza of foolishness that they did with Tyson Fury and Vasily Lomachenko, it's ridiculous, man. They say he's the number one pound for pound fighter. I think Earl Spence is the number one pound for pound fighter. I don't care what they say. But I'm gonna just go off of what they say. Okay, well, because people fail to realize what pound for pound means. Pound for pound is this here. They say Loma, the best fighter. Can Loma move up? Can Loma beat Crawford? No. Can Loma beat Earl Spence Jr.? No. Can Loma beat Manny Pacquiao? No. Can Loma beat Sean Porter? No. Can Loma beat Keith Thurman? No. Can Loma beat Danny Garcia? No. Can Loma beat Canelo? No. Can Loma beat the Charlos? No. Can he beat Tony Harrison? No. Can he beat Junior J. Rock Williamson? No. Can he beat Jared Swift Hurd? No. See, I mentioned those names. The reason why I mentioned those names is this here. Floyd Mayweather started at 130, 130 pounds. He 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 was successful at 130, 135, 140, 147, and 154. Those are the 5 weight classes that Floyd Mayweather competed in. Now he started at 130 pounds. Floyd Mayweather is barely 5'8". Matter of fact, Floyd Mayweather and Vasily Lomachenko are pretty much the same size. But I hear a lot of people talking about Loma is too small to move up. Why is he too small to move up? Okay, so it's okay for the black fighters to move up, to constantly move up, have to prove themselves. Already, right now, they talking about they're asking Devin Haney, 19-year-old, 19, 20-year-old kid. Well, how long it's gonna be before you move up? See, they already trying to challenge him. 19, 20 years old. They're already asking him when he's going to move up in weight. He fights at 135. Oh yeah, we know here they talk. Oh yeah, he's gonna fill out. But guess what? Loma walk around at 147, 150. So he can fight at 140 and 147. See, it's not. See, they doesn't. It's not a. They're not pushing for him to move up to be great because they're saying he's great already after 15 fights. I'm so sick of them doing this. Like he's moved up so much. 122, 122, 126, and 130. 130, well, no. 126, yeah, 126, 130, 135. He hasn't moved up much. But you drag Guillermo Rigondeaux up to from 122 pounds. And he's extra small. So they declared him great because he beat Gary Russell Jr., which was Loma fight was his step-up fight. Who have Gary up until then name a top fighter that Gary Russell actually has beaten? Rigondeaux moved him up 2 weight classes, and he was basically cast aside by Top Rank, having fought in almost a year, and he's getting credit for Gary Russell, Rigondeaux, and Nicholas Walter, who Bob Arum just basically just dogged him out. This man ain't fighting almost 2 years. It's ridiculous, man. And this dude gets all this love. After those 3 fighters, he haven't fought nobody. But I hear a lot of them talking about, hey, I'm gonna give him the pound for pound if he, win this and win. How? How he's the best fighter? He haven't did nothing. So now he's better than Terrence Crawford. There's no way he's better than Terrence Crawford. No way. Pound for pound mean you can whoop the top. You can whoop the top guys in a division. Floyd Mayweather proved it. He beat the top guys in 130, 135, 140, 147, and 154. He beat all the guys who wanted to fight him. And two of those people that, two of those people that ducked him when they was in a so-called prime wanted to fight him when he became the money man. When he was beginning to generate a lot of money. That's when they wanted to fight him. I'm talking about the Sugar Shane Mosley and the doggone Oscar De La Hoya. See, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. Floyd Mayweather had to play by Oscar De La Hoya rules. They picked his gloves. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya had all the advantages in that fight, and Floyd Mayweather still outboxed him. He against Sugar Shane Mosley. He overcame two devastating punches that would have knocked anybody else out, but he overcame it and washed him from the second half of the fight all the way to round 12. Just washed him. And here it is, Vasily Lomachenko. They don't want him to move up to 140 because pretty much he's maxed out at 135. He can't compete at 140. They just don't want to come out and say it. But they still want to, create this narrative as if he's the best fighter on the planet. So we're looking at 126, 130, 126, 130, 135, 140, 147. That's 5 weight classes. At least move up to one more. He can't beat Josh Taylor or Regis Prograis, aka the Rougarou. I want him seeing fight Belichick. He won't even, he didn't even fight him. It's a lot of smoke. You got Tank Davis to move it up to 135. Devin Haney is at 135. Richard Carme is at 135. Teofimo Lopez is at 135. He have smoke now. But I want to see, is he going to fight those fighters? He going to do the same thing that Triple G did. They built Triple G up as if he just, as if he's this unstoppable force. He's better than Marvin Marvelous Hagler. He's better than him. But time the smoke came, the fighters came up at the division. Guess what he did? He tucked tailed and ran. He didn't want no smoke with none of those fighters. But they painted this narrative as if Triple G is just so great. And then nobody would wanted to fight him. Oh, fighters just ducking him. Triple G fought all his mandatories, but when Charlo became his mandatory, that Negro dropped the doggone belt. I'm not fighting him, and they let him get away with it. Nobody said a word, but everybody want to walk around here. Oh, Terrence Crawford ducking hit, ducking Spence. Oh, Earl Spence is ducking Crawford. Oh, this here, all the black fighters duck everybody. But the fighters with the complexion for the protection, they gets a pass. Isn't it strange at the 160? And this is something that people don't talk about. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, he was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders, right? Billy Joe Saunders popped dirty. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade fought for the vacant title. Boo Boo got the title. Billy Joe Saunders came back off suspension, wouldn't you think that he would have fought for his title at 160? No, he ducked Demetrius Andre and moved up to 168. He straight up ducked Demetrius Andre, and no one batted an eye. He got away with it. Hold on, you gotta text me something real quick. I texted him earlier, but I'll text him again. Yeah, so it's incredible. Billy Joe Saunders just straight up ducked Boo Boo Andre, like he didn't even exist and just moved up to 168. Triple G had three titles at three belts at 160, and he dropped every last one of them. Now he has no titles at 160. Canelo dropped the WBC title belt. Canelo dropped the WBC title because he didn't want to fight Charlo. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that happens. This is the stuff that happens. See, when you have that complexion, when you have that complexion for the protection, this is the things that happen. You know, I think Jamal, his last title fight was against Brandon Adams, despite suffering a hand injury. But anyway, he needs to get back active. But what was I talking about? I was talking about the Canelo, and I didn't been ranting and everything else, huh? That's my fault. It just disgusts me, man. So now they talking about it might be Canelo and versus Triple G, a third fight. Don't nobody want to see that crap. Nobody want to see that. I'm watching. But it's reported on Boxing Scene by Miguel Rivera. That Canelo admits that he's not exactly motivated to have a third bout with middleweight rival Gennady Golovkin. Um, but like I said, on November 2nd at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, a Mexican superstar will climb up two weight divisions. See, here they go with this foolishness. Climb up two weight divisions, and I don't see it as him moving up because he already fought at 168. He fought Rocky Fielding, if I'm not mistaken, at 168. So he's not. What division does he fight in? Because if you're gonna fight at 175, fight at 170, fight enough fighters at 175. And stop, and stop. See, Canelo is like the lioness in the wild. when they hunting, see the lioness, they do their hunting. First they scout. They look and find the weakest link out of the whole um cattle. Just say you have a whole thing of gazelles. You have a young gazelle who's not fully matured, can't run as fast as the other gazelles. That lioness will pick out that one, a lame one, a weak one, a young one, and that lioness will attack that one. It'll it'll hide and do their thing, and the next thing you know, they jump out and they pounce on it and they capture it. That's what Canelo's doing in boxing. He's fighting fighters with certain, with names, but they have a lot of vulnerability in them. Daniel Jacobs is a good fighter, but everyone knows how Daniel Jacobs fight. When Daniel Jacobs fight black fighters, he go 100%. The gas pedal is on. But when he fight other fighters, it's he doesn't give it 100%. I believe he beat Triple G, but he could have beat Triple G more convincingly than he did. Even though he got knocked down at one time, he could have beat Triple G more convincingly than what he did. Because he won, he actually won that fight. But what he didn't understand is no matter what he did, they was gonna give it to Triple G anyway because they wanted a Triple G and Canelo fight. They weren't gonna let anything get in between that. Then he fought Canelo. It's like it was ridiculous, bro. What this guy did. It was ridiculous, man. But anyway, I digressed again. But the Zone, who have exclusive contracts with Canelo and Golovkin, tried to match them for a third time, but Canelo had no interest in the contest. He wants to take risks to further his legacy. That's a lie. Because if he wanted to take risks to further his legacy, he would have fought the top guys at 175 and not pick out a 36-year-old Sergey Kovalev, who just came off a grueling knockout decision over a tough Anthony Yard. That's a lie. This is not for legacy. And says the sole goal motivated him to move up for Kovalev. Canelo believes he beat Golovkin for the first time and the second time, and for the moment he sees no reason for a third bout. The truth is that I did not visualize that fight with Golovkin right now. I'm taking these risks, these fights for my career, and right now he does not represent anything to me. I beat him twice, and he does not represent a greater challenge for me to have a fight with him. This is what Canelo said to the ESPN Deportes. He said, I'm taking these challenges. I think he should take these challenges in his career, but he has not taken any risks. It really doesn't. It really does not represent any challenge to fight him again. So I am doing this fight with Kovalev. Big fights, big challenges for my career and the love of boxing. This is making history. It motivates me to make history. He said, climb two divisions, 4 world titles. That's what it's about. It represents more to me, adds more motivation and more risk. No, it's no risk at all. It represents much more to me than the other fight. I'm taking the risk of this magnitude to make history. He just kept on repeating himself, talking about taking risks. He's not taking a risk. If you're taking a risk is fighting Demetrius Andrade. Taking a risk is fighting Jamal Charlo. Those are taking risks. The reason why he's not taking those fights because their styles are similar to Floyd Mayweather. Those styles can beat him. That's why he's not taking the risk. See, Danny Jacobs has a up, as Floyd Mayweather say, up and down, no special effects. But he know if he get in that ring with Demetrius Boo Boo Andre and Jamal Charlo, he has a fight on his hand. He's gonna have to pull out every trick in the arsenal to beat those two guys. A light of I would listen to another uh, um stream yesterday, and one of the guests, said that he don't think Jamal can beat Canelo. That's a lie. Jamal Charlo can beat Canelo. I don't give a doggone how he looked against Brandon Adams. Jamal can beat Canelo. It's a reason why they stand away from Jamal Charlo and they stand away from Demetrius Boo and Andre. The Andre fight is the easiest to make because they're both on the same thing, the zone. That's one of the most easiest fights to make. But anyway, like they said, he's taking this big old risk. Um, this so-called big risk to fight Sergey Kovalev. I'll be what oh, I don't know, I gotta it's on the zone. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it on the zone. I might have to find another site to watch it on. I don't support the zone. But I just don't like Eddie Hearn. No, I don't like what him and his father stand for. I'm gonna just come out and say it. They're just a racist bunch of racist white men. His father definitely racist. And hey, Eddie Hearn picked up on his dad habits. So guess what? I don't support that talk. I don't support that foolishness. And if it comes from the PB side, guess what? I'll stop supporting PBC as well. Time I see it, I'm gonna stop supporting it. I don't support foolishness. I don't care how much I love the sport of boxing. I don't support foolishness. Everybody should be treated fairly, which I know it's not. Everybody's not going to be treated fairly, but everybody should be treated fairly. But in the sport of boxing, I know that the people of my complexion always get the short end of the stick. No matter no matter what we have achieved in this sport, we always get the short end of the stick. No matter what our fighters do, we always have to constantly prove ourselves. But the opposite don't. Vasily Lomachenko have a total of 15 fights. He has more to prove in this sport of boxing. Yes, he's a good fighter. Frankly, I really don't care how good he is. Prove to me that you're the best and beat the best. Can he beat Terrence Crawford? No. Can he beat Errol the Truth Spence? No. Can he beat Devin Haney? No. Do I think he can beat Tank Davis? No. Can he even beat any top guys at 140? And Richard Prograis and Josh Taylor? No. So how is he pound for pound? Just because he won 3 titles in three weight divisions that makes you a champion? I mean, not a champion, but what that makes you pound for pound best? No, it don't. But my pick for pound best is none other than Errol The Truth, Spence Jr. It's just boxing, just my 2 cents, and I'm out. Peace.